The leaders, Liverpool, strengthened their grip at the top of the Premier League after coming from behind to beat struggling Leicester as they won that one 3-1 in the end to move 7 points clear. Arne told talkSPORT he was delighted by his side's mentality to come from behind to win yet again this season.
Apart from the goal we conceded, I was quite happy about the way we played. I think we were patient enough. We didn't force it. We just kept on trying to bring the balls in, and there were more than enough moments that could have led to a goal. And that is what you have to try to keep doing. They try to bring the momentum out of the game, and we can only influence the moments that the ball is in play. And I was quite happy about that. Wanted to do 1 or 2 adjustments in terms of positioning, but not in terms of playing style.
All right, well, let's get more on this with talkSPORT's very own leading sports journalist, Henry Winter. Henry, good morning. How you doing?
Morning, Henry.
Morning, Nat. Morning, Dean. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you.
Happy Christmas to you too, yes. I mean, it feels as though it's a great sort of period right now for Liverpool. 7 points clear at the top of the table. Are you feeling as though we're edging towards it's done and dusted?
Well, as the Liverpool fans say, it's beginning to look a slot like Christmas.
Henry.
Can I say that is not original? The Liverpool definitely not original.
It's
been a good winter for slot.
Thank you. Absolutely, yeah.
Good.
And you can see why. You know, the tree looks good, the table looks good, everything's looking good for them. But what I like, and in your interview there, you could hear his control, a tweak of humour in the background. He's obviously a manager that the players warm to very quickly because of his personality. He's got a slight sort of twinkle in his eye. But, he's also a fantastic coach. He's a fantastic man manager. You see there's an element of sort of rotation with Szoboszlai being sort of rested, having played, probably been Liverpool's sort of 1, 2, 3 best players in recent weeks. And Jones comes in and scores. Cody Gakpo's been a sort of revelation under him. I mean, we knew he was a good player when he went to Liverpool, but he didn't quite do it in his first season. And then under Arne, he's just brought more out of him. We've seen with Gravenberch, I mean, the transformation there. So you can see his influence on making good players better. And obviously he's inherited a fantastic squad of player. And the depth of it, as well as the quality of the perceived starting 11, is so good.
Yeah, and good signs yesterday, Henry. Like you said, I mean, obviously there was a bit of Graham Hogg there, wasn't it, on the way to the ground? I thought the game was going to get called off, and then they go a goal down. Andy Robertson got a bit twisted up there by AU. It was a good finish from him. 1-0 down early on in the game, and then they've come back and. I mean, they've just got so many good athletes on the pitch, attacking-minded athletes who get in behind the defence of the opposition, and they seem to be cutting balls back from the byline. It's Jones this time, then it's Salah. Salah scored again, and they deserved it, but they look unstoppable at the moment.
Salah's 19th goal of the season. I mean, it's remarkable what a season he's having. It's probably still remarkable they're still having a debate about his future. I mean, if you're FSG, if you're their owners, Liverpool's owners, you think, right, let's make sure we keep him. And I'm sure he probably will stay, and I'm sure Virgil van Dijk will stay. Obviously, the next debate is going to be, will Trent Alexander-Arnold go off to Real Madrid next summer? That's probably the only cloud on the horizon. But as you say, even when they go a goal down after sort of 6 minutes, they stay in control. I think it probably helps, Dean, and you will provide very good insight on this. The amount of international captains they've got on the pitch. They've got the captain of Hungary, Szoboszlai, obviously didn't start, but he's often in there. The captain of the Netherlands in Virgil van Dijk, the captain of Scotland, Andy Robertson, although he's not necessarily been in his peak form, and then obviously the captain of Egypt as well. So all over the pitch, you've got individual responsibility takers, which just sort of add to this sort of control in difficult times. I mean, they just showed their resilience. I love their mental strength as well as their physical strength. Quite right. Their athleticism, superb. Their movement, they mix a little bit of that sort of Jurgen Klopp swarm mentality with the sort of control and the intelligence. And I love McAllister, whether he's playing slightly deeper or slightly further forward. I just think he's such an underrated player. Underrated. He's won the World Cup, but just sort of some of his passing and movement. I just think there's talent all over the pitch and strength and depth.
Well, Henry, you're the man in the know, right? And obviously the results are sort of covering up this situation that Liverpool are in. And I'm not trying to be negative, but do you know any news on Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent? Because you can't lose your best players. Do you say to them, How much do you want? And give it them, and then risk the rest of the dressing room saying, well, I want the same. Or do you let them go? You know, the power, I think, has swayed into the players' hands now. So I don't know if you've heard anything, but they need to keep those 3.
They do. No, I have absolutely no inside information apart from the sort of the general mood music from Merseyside seems to be that Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah will stay. I think it's obviously the money is important, but I think it's length of contract, particularly when you hit 30, and particularly when you've got owners who have a sort of mindset or a sort of like almost a Moneyball approach about how long a contract do you give athletes whose form and fitness might have a dip. I would imagine that Mo Salah will sign a 2-year contract. I mean, it just makes sense. Why leave Liverpool now with what they're doing, with the manager they've got, with the quality of the players they've got, with this magnificent stadium, which you obviously played in and is almost sort of a third bigger from when you played there. And you know the ambition that they've got. Virgil van Dijk, I think, looks set to stay. I mean, he's just, you know, where else would he go that would be as good as Anfield? I know they can go to Saudi, but I think Trent Alexander-Arnold at his age, 26, 27, the lure of Real Madrid, if they come in, as previous Liverpool players have shown, it's pretty tough.
Hopefully, Henry, they look at Mane and Wijnaldum. What happened to them when they left? They more or less just, the careers have just fizzled out. I think Mane's in Saudi now, isn't he? He went to Bayern Munich and that didn't work out, even though he was playing with 3 great players up the top end of the pitch. And Wijnaldum's disappeared. I don't even know where he is now. Yeah,
well, I think he's in Saudi. But I think but when it's Real Madrid and when you can see they've got a vacancy there at right back. Look, in a way, I hate to talk about this because I don't want Trent Alexander-Arnold to leave England and to leave Liverpool. But it's Real Madrid. I mean, you've seen it in the past, McManaman, players like that. When Real Madrid come calling, it is Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world. So it must be tempting for him. But I've got no insight there, and I hope he stays, and I hope they give him the contract. But I would have thought he is the most likely to leave of the 3.
Just briefly, elsewhere, when you look at the table, obviously some massive surprises at the top end. When you look at Forest and Bournemouth, what they're doing right now, Fulham likewise as well. Teams that we would have thought might have been up there, not quite, with Manchester United, Tottenham, even City currently obviously going through the struggles that they're going through. I mean, what do you make of all of that, with all these teams that are struggling, all these teams that are surprising us?
You said it so well just after the break. What has happened? Is the table sort of topsy-turvy? Are we reading our sort of, our tables upside down? But it's good management. You look at Nuno, what he's done with Forest. They are third. That is no coincidence. It's partly recruitment. You look at Milenkovic, how well he played yesterday. You look at that back four, which was built, well, I know one on loan, but it's built for so 20, 30 million pounds. I know your team's not in the best run of form at the moment, Brentford, but you know that they recruit well. They got a good manager. Look at Fulham, Marco Silva. What a job he's doing, and he's not really sort of considered as well. So look, good management, good recruitment. Maybe there's an element with some of the elite teams, and we've seen it maybe with Rodri, maybe with Bukayo Saka, that because of the workload on these elite players, maybe some of them are feeling a little bit of fatigue. Maybe they do need the sort of rotation, which Arne Slot is very cleverly occasionally doing at Liverpool. But yeah, good management, good recruitment, and it's fantastic to see because we like a change in narrative.
Do you know what it could be, Henry, as well? A little bit of, when you look at Southampton, bottom of the league, wide open football everywhere. Spurs, wide open football, giving teams a chance to beat you and concede by attacking football. So maybe that's why we're getting results where we can't. We look at the fixture list and say, I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know what's going to happen there. But maybe there's a bit of everything in there. But it's definitely exciting to watch.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.